Good morning, students. I'm Dr. Himanshu Kanpal, Assistant Professor English, Government MS College for Women, Bikaner. Today I'm going to make you familiar with a literary term, free verse. Definition of free verse. Free verse is a literary device that can be defined as poetry that is free from limitations of regular meter or rhythm and does not rhyme with fixed forms. Such poems are without rhythm and rhyme schemes, do not follow regular rhyme scheme rules, yet still provide artistic expression. In this way, the poet can give his own shape to a poem however he or she desires. However, it still allows poets to use alliteration, rhyme, cadences, and rhythms to get the effects that they consider are suitable for the piece. So, what is a free verse? Free verse is a kind of poetry that does not conform to any regular meter. The length of its lines is irregular as is its use of rhyme, if any. Instead of a regular metrical pattern, it uses more flexible rhythmic groupings, sometimes supported by other devices of repetition. Features of free verse. Free verse is also known as open form verse. So, free verse poems have no regular meter or rhythm. They do not follow a proper rhyme scheme. These poems do not have any set rules. This type of poem is based on normal pauses and natural rhythmical phrases as compared to the artificial constraints of normal poetry. It means that, like traditional verse, it is printed in short lines instead of with the continuity of prose, but it differs from such verse by the fact that its rhythmic pattern is not organized into meter, that is into feet or recurrent units of weak and strong syllables. So most free verse also has irregular length rhyme, line lengths and lax rhyme. It is also called verse libre, which is a French word meaning free verse. Origination of free verse. Although the term is loosely applied to the poetry of Walt Whitman and even earlier experiments with irregular meters, it was originally a literal translation of vers libre, the name of a movement that originated in France in the 1880s. The first English language poets to be influenced by verse were libre, notably T.E. Hume, F.S. Flint, Richard Aldington, Ezra Pound, and T.S. Eliot were the students of French poetry. Now, the most widely practiced verse form in English, it has precedence in translations of the biblical Psalms and in some poems of Blake and Corte, but established itself only in the late 19th and early 20th century with Walt Whitman. In the 19th century, we can say William Blake and Matthew Arnold experimented with departures from regular meters, and in 1855, Walt Whitman startled the literary world with his Leaves of Grass by using verse lines of varying length. So, generally speaking, formal verse gradually fell out of fashion with poets over the course of the 20th century. This was in part because as literary levels rose, meter and rhyme no longer seemed necessary. Few examples of free verse. There's one of the poem Howl by Allen Ginsberg and Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo and the machinery of night. There is no rhyme at all in Ginsberg's poem, and certainly no strict meter. In the second example, I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume. For every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I love and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. In this famous example of free verse, Whitman employs several other poetic techniques such as frequent repetition and unique turns of phrase. Types of free verse poetry. Free verse is an open form, which means it has no predetermined structure and no prescribed length. We should keep in mind that it has no predetermined structure and no prescribed length. We can find rhythmic effects not on recurrent metric foot but on cadenced units and on the repetition, balance and variation of words, phrases, clauses and lines. Since there is no rhyme scheme and no set metrical pattern, there are no rules for line breaks or stanza divisions. In the early 20th century, a group who called themselves Imagists wrote spare poetry that focused on concrete images. The Red Wheelbarrow, a 1923 poem by William Carlos Williams, is free verse in the Imagist tradition. Other free verse poems succeed at expressing powerful emotions through run-on sentences, hyperbolic language, chanting rhymes and rambling digressions. Perhaps the best example is Allen Ginsberg's 1956 poem Howl. So we can say among the many modes of open versifications in English, we can make a broad distinction between the long-lined and often verses of poets like Whitman and Allen Ginsberg, of which a principal origin is the translated poetry of Hebrew Bible, and the shorter lined conversational, often ironic forms employed by the majority of writers in free verse. Such poets yield up the drive, beat and song achievable by traditional meters in order to exploit other rhythmical possibilities. Verse form adopted by writers like highly experimental poetry is also often written in free verse. The poet might focus on images or word sounds without regard to logic or syntax. Tender Buttons by Gertrude Stein is a stream of consciousness collection of poetic fragments. In turn, T.S. Eliot resisted classification. He mingles free verse with rhyming verse and blank verse in Eliot's book-length poem, The Wasteland. He believed that all poetry, regardless of form, possesses an underlying unity. In his often quoted 1917 essay, Reflections on Vers Libre, Eliot stated that there is only good verse, bad verse and chaos. So, French symbolist poets in the later 19th century and American and English poets of the present century, especially after World War I, began the present era of the intensive use of free verse. It has been employed by the writers like Rainer Maria Rilke, T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, William Carlos Williams, and numberless other poets in all the Western languages. Most of the verse in English that is published today is non-metrical. So, free verse charmed poets simply because it lacked the restrictions and constraints imposed on poetry by meter and rhyme. Therefore, left it to the poet to determine the form his or her poem would take and to invent his or her own restrictions and constraints. Today, it could be said that the main reason most poets write in free verse is simply that it has become the norm in much the same way that formal and blank verse were once the norm. While free verse lacks some of the restraints of formal and blank verse, it still involves all the elements that make up the form of a poem, including diction, syntax, lineation, stanza, rhythm, and the many different types of rhyme. It's just that aren't any rules governing how they must be used. So, in the modern world, most of the verse in English that is written today is non metrical. This is all about free verse. Thank you.